Okay, welcome to another quick learning session. This little video is about the Shape Builder tool and how to complete this activity. If we take a look at this, we can kind of start back and how do we get to this file maybe. That may be a good starting point for everybody, just as a reminder. The way we're saving files now, or when we post things on Google Classroom, they're going to be also a copy put into your Google Drive. So you shouldn't have to download files anymore. This should alleviate some of that problems we were having there. So to get to this, you would want to go to File, and then you go to Open. And once you're in Open, you've got to kind of remember where your Google Drive hangs out. So over here on the left-hand side, you should be able, if you open this up a little bit, should be able to see that we've got a Google Drive file stream option there. Here, you've got shared drives and you've got My Drives. My Drives are where your specific files hang out. A shared drive would be something that is of a larger piece that the school has shared with you. So back here in My Drive, you can see I've gone this PC, Google Drive file stream, and then I've gone to My Drive. We need to locate the classroom folder from here. So this classroom folder is specific to Google Classroom. We double click on that. It'll open up. Inside of here, you'll see all of your classes that you've ever been enrolled in as part of Google Classroom. You're just going to navigate to your specific hour for this class. You'll open it up and you'll be able to see it. I'm looking at the teacher view, but if I double click on first hour here, you'll see that I've got some different folders being made. And the remote learning plan, it should be inside of here. If we click, we can see combining shapes and stuff. So these are where our files will live. You'd open it up here and you can save back to here as well. And you wouldn't have to worry about downloading any more files in the future. So we've got our file here. Let's zoom in, take a quick look at the directions. This project is really focused on creating shapes using the rounded corner feature, utilizing the fill and stroke options. Remember, you can color from multiple different places on the program. You can go to the toolbar, control bar. You can use the right-hand side with the panels. There's many different ways to recolor an object. But the goal is to make it look like the example that is on the right-hand side of the screen. And then the very final piece here is that we're going to be using the shape builder to make a complete shape. These examples over here that you're looking at of like the house and the camera and the pin drop, those were the basic shapes that were used to make the more complex shape that we want to have in the end. So what's going to be required of you? You are going to have to save this file to your drive. You've got to complete 5 of the 7 that are on here. And if you do all 7 of them, I'll take the top 5 grades for the assignment. Again, just save them back to your Google Drive and you'll be good to go. Everything's being graded on a 0 to 10 scale. If you are over here and you're just drawing these basic shapes and not combining them, you're going to get a 2. If you combine them, but not do the fancy background or the coloring that's with them, you're going to be average. You want 10, you got to do the background and you got to color everything. So let's get into looking at these shapes here. Some tools or tips and tricks that may help you throughout this assignment. The first one, Control+. Let's zoom in. Let's take a look at our work. Let's focus on just one piece at a time. Second one, right? Control-. will back you up if you need to. If I'm in too far, space bar will give me temporary hand and I can do a screen drag that way and reposition my artwork that way. Another thing is workspace, right? Let's be set up correctly so we're all on the same one. I like to use the Essentials Classic mode, so I'll click on that. I've clearly used it. I've got a panel that's out, so I can reset this back to the default by coming here, going to the workspace, going to the bottom, and clicking on Reset Essentials Classic. Clicked on that, we're good to go. Some other quick tips that I like is I don't like to draw with strokes on, so I'm just going to do a visual check over here. You can see by default I would have a white fill and a black stroke. Not the best option for what we're trying to complete today. I'm going to bring my stroke to the front. I'm then going to push the slash mark here. The slash means none, so there's no fill currently or no stroke being applied to whatever shape I'm going to draw. But it's also white, which will make it difficult to see on this background. So I'm going to bring it to the front. You could double click, choose a color there. You could go to the control bar and get the fill swatch if you wanted to. You can see how it's all changing right there. Or you could use any of the various options over here on the right with the panels. So again, zoom in. Let's see the work we're going to be trying to do. If I'm looking at this here, I see a basic rectangle with a rounded corner, and I see a polygon or a star that the sides have been reduced on. So you can draw it. Boom, it covers it up. Well, how do I fix this from here? I get my selection tool, and I just bring the side back until I can see the tracing object. Same for the other side. Oops. There we go. Bring that back. Bring this one down from the top. Bring it up to the bottom. And we're good to go. Another thing for the polygon portion of it, the triangle that you're trying to create, you can use the polygon tool, you can use the star tool. Either one's going to create you a triangle. So if I hold this out here, I've obviously done this because I'm in a triangle right now, but if your polygon started off with multiple sides, remember, up arrow or down arrow will increase or decrease the number of sides for your triangle. I drop that out there and I bring it over. What I like to do is just line up the tip of the triangle and then take my direct select tool, come back and I click on one point to activate it. And then I just simply move the side to create the angle that is needed for this particular piece. Before I go any farther, I do want to round the corners, and I can show you that real quick. Again, I've selected it as an object with my selection tool, and then I go to the rounded corner option, and I click and I pull. Kind of close. Again, these don't have to be 100% perfect, but that gets us there. This may look good, but if I were to go Control Y, when I grade it, you'll see that these two shapes have not been combined. So get back out of Control Y. Control Y is wireframe if you did not catch that. So Control Y is how I'll be grading. Basically what that does is it removes the fill color, the stroke color, and any appearance that's being applied to the objects and simply shows you the actual wireframe that is used to construct the shapes. So I'll select both of those. I come down here over to my toolbox and get my shape builder tool. I'll click on that once. Remember with the shape builder, whatever I drag through, they'll become merged. If I don't want to keep a piece, I hold the Alt key and I click on it or drag through it and that'll be removed. Now, if we go back to Control Y, we'll see that we have successfully created a nice complete shape. Let's pan over and take a look at this background that needs to be built, right? This piece is going to be right here. So we're going to start off with what, in my mind, how I see it, is two rectangles, right? But they're perfect. So I have to hold the Shift key when I create them, right? So I'm going to make that, needs to be a touch bigger. Okay. There's like that pink purple gradient that's there. If I open up my swatches panel, you'll see the swatch is currently sitting in your swatches panel. Bam, it's done, right? I need to have that gray stroke that goes around the outside. So at this time, we need to create a stroke. I want to make sure that my stroke is active, so I'll click on it. I come down here and I'll choose a gray, maybe that one. I need to increase the weight on my stroke, so I can do it through the appearance panel, or I can go to my strokes panel. Appearance panel will work for this particular situation. We don't need to really change any attributes. Although you can see that it is currently growing on both sides of the line, on this side and that side. If you would like to change it, because technically it's growing to the outside, you can align the stroke in different ways. This could be the inside, or this can be the outside. The outside is probably the better option. If I come in here, click the rounded corners option, and round that over just a bit, I've created the starting point for this piece. I need to get one more square for the inside document. We notice that it took the same attributes from the last shape I drew. And those attributes aren't right for this particular piece. I need to have no fill. So I'm going to click on the fill option and click the slash. That will remove it, allowing the color to come through. I also have a very thick stroke right now, so let's knock that down a little bit. But it's not dashed yet. So how do we get the dashes? Well, we have to open up the strokes properties in order to get to that. By clicking on the strokes, we're able to come in here and click dash. And then we can round the corners. And we've just created our lookalike background, right? These are two independent shapes right now. It may be beneficial for you to right click on them and group them. And now when you click on them, they'll just move together. So let's move this over here. Oh no, what's taking place? Well, we created the background after we created the foreground. So technically we have a stacking order issue, right? But we need to get this talk bubble to the front of the stack. We're going to right click on it and go to arrange and bring to the front. And then we can move that over. It's obviously not the right color. There's a couple ways that that can be done to change the color. You could come over to your fill and you could just simply choose a gray. But if you are somebody that likes to be a little extra, you can come in here and grab the shape builder or the eyedropper tool and simply click on the gray of the talk bubble on the right there. Now those are the exact same color. There is a finished product. That would be a 10 out of 10. And we've got some other pieces down here. We obviously got to work through them and build them. I like to work smarter than harder, so I'd make a copy of this background and move it here. As we take a look at some of these other shapes that need to be built, this here may present a couple challenges for you. But what I look and when I see it, I see 1 rectangle, 2 rectangle, 3, 4, 5 rectangles, and then 1 square that is right there. I start off by drawing my stuff in a horizontal plane, and then I rotate it. But I hold the shift key when I rotate. That puts it on the 45 plane, and then I can match the size of the existing shape and round the corners. A quick way to make a copy of something is to hold the Alt key when you have your selection tool up, and you're able to make a duplicate. I just need to then hold the shift key and rotate it to the other 45 plane, line it up, and I've started to create the roof of my house. I'm going to draw the smokestack on the house. Bam, that one's done. And then for the other pieces down here on the bottom, I'm able to come in here and draw those. Draw my door. And then the last one I need to do is a square. So I held the shift key. I now need to rotate it so it's on the 45 plane. Bring it in here. And it's a touch big right now, but if I look at my shapes, you can kind of see how things are starting to come together. They'll be able to clip right there, and I can clip right there, and this should be okay. So get back out of here. Next thing I need to do is select all the pieces that make up my object, get my shape builder tool, drag through those. That created one solid shape there. Here I need to hold the Alt key and drag through these pieces. That's going to remove them from the door. And then I can also get in here and nip off these sides. Those together. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. Not sure what's taking place here, but we'll just join them in. Here we go. So I've just created my shape. You can see I missed those pieces on the bottom, so I'll just come back, take my Alt tool, and cut those out. These are 2 independent pieces, though. They will move individually of each other, so you may want to come back and group them together. So I'll select both and group. You can kind of work your way through the rest of this project as you go along. Some of the things that do kind of present some challenges as you're working with it would be this circle background. To complete that, you would come in here, make a circle, take your line tool, draw a line down the middle. It's very important when you're doing this that the line hangs long so that it can properly shape build. I'll select both pieces, get my shape builder up, click on one side. It went white or clear because I have no fill currently in my swatches panel. Do the other side. So now we've made those into 2 independent shapes, but I still need to get rid of the top pieces. So I hold the Alt key and click those away. If I click off, they're not really gone. They're still there in wireframe mode. I'll come back and just select one half and then select the other half. And we've just created our background piece for that. What else can I tell you? Just look at the shapes here. This one here is a rectangle, right? And I came in here and I manually selected the top points. To round just 2 points, you need to take your direct select tool, click once to activate the point, hold shift to select the other point, and then you can pull, and you've just created a rounded top on just 2 of the sides. Over here, it takes a little bit of layering and building to get it to work. You can use the line tool to create those pieces, and the cactus will actually have the stroke turned on to create that little gray edge. And the rest of them are pretty straightforward. Don't worry about expanding your text on the numbers. Just leave them as live editable text and let them sit in the box there. But that should answer most of the questions that will come up during this particular assignment. Good luck. Have fun.